Greetings, Gemini and Gemini rising. This is your Western forecast for 2025. 2025 is what I described in an earlier video is a paradigm shift. That video was describing how it impacts the world, society, humanity at large. I'm going to zoom out in a few minutes and describe the bigger picture of these powerful planetary events impacting you in your sign in the bigger picture. But I want to first zero in with the your individual issues. Let's start also with, if you hadn't watched the 2025 forecast, I talked about transformational Pluto moving into Aquarius. And right now, there's so much fear from all this divisiveness, especially in the United States, but certainly around the world, in Israel and etc. In Lebanon and Russia, there's all this panic and fear. That was triggered intensely with Pluto in Capricorn from 2008 to the end of 2024. And now Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Pluto is about transformation. Capricorn was elitist. Capricorn needs control, needs to be in charge. There was so much more of this fear being triggered, and with all this fascism, autocracy that everybody is fearing around the world. But I talked about how with this paradigm shift is going to be more favorable. It's going to bring more the collective, more, and it's going to diminish slowly the divisiveness. Because Pluto is endings and new beginnings. Pluto is profound, deep transformation. And once in nearly 250 years, it's now firmly in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Aquarius rules community. It rules the collective. It rules humanity, the humanitarian. So we're going from that controlling elitism of Pluto in Capricorn, but that's over with for the next couple of hundred years. And now it is trying to awaken this humanity and society. And big thing about Aquarius, it's the sign of friendships, and the fact that it represents humanity and the community. This is the slow turning around to start healing all that divisiveness. Now, it's always to some degree going to be there, but it was off the charts in these last recent years. And so 2025, it is starting to be reset. It may take till 2026 before a lot of the dust settles. That is because why 2025, if you haven't listened to the other forecasts, why it's a paradigm shift is every single planet is changing signs. This could only happen. Pluto changes, the last time Pluto changed signs was 2008. And Neptune was 14 years ago. And Uranus was 7 years ago. So to have all these powerful outer planets that impacts society at large to all be changing signs in the same year, this is very rare. And here's the good news. They're all changing signs in harmony with each other. So we're not going to get more divisiveness. We're not going to trigger more fear. But it may take till July, August 2025 to start seeing some signs of real progress and hope for humanity. But the fact that every single planet is going to change signs in 2025, there's going to be a lot of instability, a bit of insecurity. But it's all shifting, not to fall off the cliff, but to get better. So keep that in mind. Now, Gemini rising. Let's focus on the individual, the personal, before I go to the big picture. Mars is the warrior, ambitious, aggressive planet. We're going to start January with it retrograde. Mars doesn't like being retrograde because Mars is external, aggressive, and when it's retrograde, it feels like it's hitting a wall, it's being pulled backwards. Mars in retrograde, it started December the 6th. It goes to February the 23rd, at which point it goes direct, releasing all its pent-up frustrations until April the 17th. So for the first 3.5 months, Mars, ego-oriented, aggressive Mars, is in Cancer in your second house of income. So you're going to be striving really hard, being really competitive to make more money. The first 2.5 months, at least till February 23rd, you're going to be, with the retrograde, you may be thinking it's too slow, it's taking more effort, you may be more worried. And then financially, it all starts to open up February the 23rd till April the 17th. But here's the good news. Saturn is in Pisces. It's in Pisces since March of 2023. It's going to finally leave Pisces at the end of May briefly and go into Aries. But for the first nearly 5 months, Saturn, that planet of focus, concentration, responsibilities, discipline, is in Pisces, a water sign, in harmony with Mars in Cancer, a water sign. So the Saturn is going to help the aggressiveness and desires and goals of Mars to achieve its end, to be able to set up the focus, the channeling for making more money, especially as Saturn is in Pisces, which is in the 10th house of career matters for Gemini. Now, before I zoom out and look at, we're going to get back to Pluto, but come April the 1st, Neptune moves into Aries, first time in 166 years. Saturn's moving into Aries in May. Uranus is moving into Gemini in July, first time in 84 years. Before I discuss how this is impacting you individually, because my other forecast for 2025 was for society and government and the world at large. So before I zoom out, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find a direct link to book an astrology reading. All right, before I get to Neptune, and Neptune has been in Pisces for about the last 14 years. April the 1st, it's moving into Aries. But I want to talk about Venus, because Mars, January, February, even March, April, is in your second house of income. Venus is going into Aries, and retrograding March the 1st through April the 11th. Venus retrogrades every year and a half. Mars retrogrades every 2 years. Venus in retrograde is about reevaluating and testing all things Venus, friendships, personal relationships, creative projects. And in March, from March the 1st till April the 11th, that Venus is retrograde, testing all the issues of Venus. It's in your 11th house. And the 11th house deals with groups and organizations and friendships. And you're going to be reevaluating all those social constructs in March. Now, Neptune moving into Aries is entering into your 11th, where the Venus is testing you in the 11th. That Neptune can be all this inspiring but transitional, confusing energies with friends and groups. First thing I think about, because of all the positive energies to Neptune, is spiritual groups, healing groups, being more motivated to attend wellness retreats, spiritual retreats, because that's all the groups of the 11th. Now, because Pluto and Uranus are supporting Neptune, it's the best of Neptune in the 11th. And Saturn, we'll get more into it in a minute. Saturn is the planet of reality. Neptune could be the planet of fantasy. Saturn is moving into Aries, first time in nearly 30 years, May the 24th. It will remain in Aries till September the 1st, retrograde back into Pisces, back into your 10th house of careers to really firm it down, solidify that career, and then finally move back into Aries, into your 11th of your long-range goals and aspirations, in February 2026, as Neptune moves back into Aries in February 2026. So here's the really great thing. Neptune is what we are envisioning. It is the dream. It's the fantasy. It's the imagination. And that can go all haywire if there were negative influences, but they're not. Now, Saturn can be a bit tricky, because Saturn can be contracting, separating, challenging, hitting the Neptune, and that could be triggering some fears of all this transition. Fears about your future, fears about friendships, teamwork. But because Uranus and Pluto are in harmony with the Saturn and Neptune, now we're going to get, for most of you, the best. Any little effort, the best. Saturn wants to ground you and manifest and make real the dream, the vision. And in the 11th, could be forming a whole group, an organization, or getting involved in it, or feeling on a more psychological level or personal level, really feeling that the confidence that your vision and dreams, that's the 11th, look very possible and real for you. Jupiter changes signs every year. Jupiter is all this expansiveness, luck, optimism. Jupiter is a 12-year cycle, goes through each sign for a year. Last year, around May of 2024, Jupiter went into Gemini, and it's there until June the 9th, 2025. So for most of you, that Jupiter in Gemini is bringing a lot of growth and luck and opportunity, more traveling, more education, certainly feeling a whole lot luckier. And being it's in Gemini, which is the first house of new beginnings for Geminis, Gemini rising, there could be bringing in exciting new opportunities and ventures. Uranus is moving into Gemini. This is a huge period for you. July the 7th, first time in 84 years. Now, it's only going to remain in Gemini till July the 7th through November the 7th, retrograde back into Taurus, which is a lot of unsettled, shaking up times, but very favorable for behind-the-scenes development. And with Uranus, with new technology, new ideas, and then 2026, it firmly moves back into Gemini to, when is it? Till about 2033. Now, Uranus in Gemini is going to be this exciting breakthrough, innovative energies. Uranus can rule thinking out of the box, technology. Gemini is communications, it's learning, and with the first house, all these new beginnings. Now, put a pin in that. Pluto in Aquarius talked about humanity, the collective, friendships to help bring society, back working closer together and not so divided. Pluto in Aquarius is 9 signs past Gemini. So we've been giving a preview for the last couple of years, 2023, 2024, it kept moving in and out of Aquarius. Now at the end of 2024, it's fully in Aquarius for the next 20 years. The 9th house, because Aquarius is 9 signs past Gemini, the 9th house is world traveling, media marketing, higher education. So there could be huge developmental changes with education, with teaching, with marketing, with publishing. So that 9th house with publishing and marketing goes very well with doing an online business. And Uranus is the planet of technology and innovation, is moving into Gemini and the first house of new beginnings. So this is when Gemini and Gemini risings are going to start seeing some really exciting future that could certainly career technology, and the Neptune-Saturn conjunction that's very favorably supported by Pluto and Uranus is in the 11th house. Now, you could be forming an online business or any publishing marketing business with a friend. That's the 11th house. Or forming a group, maybe a group of friends, like doing a startup with a startup business with a few friends. But that Saturn-Neptune is you're going to be feeling that the vision and the future is so real and positive. And here's Uranus for the first time in 84 years in your sign. That is when there's going to be this out of the blue excitement of moving into this whole new territory, technology, innovation, science. So this is a big turning point. The first 6 months, as the planets are all beginning to change signs, can trigger a lot of instability, kicking up a lot of dust. You're going to, and then we have to wait for it to settle down. It might bring up a lot of anxiety because there was so much fear in the last couple of years that some people might be triggered again. But all these major planetary transits are supporting one another. And they're all going to be exactly in harmony with each other July and August. And then into next year for at least a number of years. So the July-August, with all these outer planets in harmony with each other and everything, and I talked about friendships, the future, technology, all those energies are going to start to become more clear, or you're going to feel they're more possible by July and August. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next year, be safe and well.